So I want to ask you about, I don't know how people say it, lads, love in deep space, that stuff.
Sure.
'Cause I know
I'm
nothing about it. I've seen people freak out about it, which probably means it's nothing, but because that's typically everything the internet freaks out about, being like, "Oh, this is disgusting and terrible," and other people being like, "Oh no, it's actually fine." I'm like, "All right, so it's probably somewhere in the middle, and people are just being dumb." But I know nothing about it. What is it, and why do you and so many others like it so much?
I'm so glad you asked me this question. Love in Deep Space is a people call it a Gunner game. Also, debatable. But also some of the recent cards. Yeah, you know what? You kind of clocked us with that one. To be fair though, like Love in Deep Space didn't really start off super like Gunner-y. Like it didn't start off like super sensual. Like it started well, not sensual, like sexual. It started off very sensual because like a lot of it was very suggestive, where it's like, oh yeah, no, like it's implied heavily that you spent a very nice night together. You know what I mean? But it was never like explicit. Whereas like with some of the cards now, it definitely is a little bit more explicit. But basically, there's now 5 guys that you can romance, and it's Caleb, my husband, Zane, uh, Raphael, Silas, and Xavier. And there's like a lot of fun things to it. Like there's more to the game than like just the romance aspect. Like the battle portions of the game, it's very technical.
There's battle?
Oh
I've never heard
yeah.
anyone talk about the battle.
No, there's like fighting in the game. You go through and you do it's like Nikke, you know, you go through a little bit of story, you do like a fighting round and then you call it a day. But with the difference, whereas like with Nikke, I like to say that you can just hit auto and look pretty. With lads, you have to actively play, and you also have to like build up your characters. So like there's these things called protocors that you have to go out and also fight for, and they're like loot drops from specific missions. So you can buy protocors or you can go out and get them. It's just easier to go out like in the missions and get them. And then you have to level up specific protocors, and each protocor does different things for the card. And so you have to like sync the protocors. Like people have made spreadsheets. Like it's so insanely technical. Like because you have to do the protocors and you have to level up the cards, and then you have to also like sync like the duoed cards because there's some cards that perform better when they're matched with like another card, even though it may not be like the meta, but having them together may still give you better results even if it's not like the meta, quote unquote. And there is meta. Love in Deep Space. So like there's a very technical side of it. Some people play it like specifically for the fighting, believe it or not, because it is so like numbers grindy. So you can play it technical. It's like any game where it's very numbers grindy. You can play it technical, or you can just play it for vibes. I was in the middle. I'm more of a vibes player. So like we they do like events as well that have like different stories. Like each of the boys has like a myth card and like a myth storyline, and most of them have 2. I think they just released Caleb's second myth storyline, and I want it so bad. I want it so bad. I need to re-download the game. I had to delete the game because I went to France and I didn't have enough space on my phone for both
Hmm.
pictures of France and Love in Deep Space, and I had to make a choice. I deleted Love in Deep Space, and to this day, I regret it. I want it back, but I know that if I get it back, I'm gonna like cry out of all the cards that I haven't been able to pull for. But the story is actually really good. It's very detailed. The world in it is almost disturbingly fleshed out. I don't think there's, at least that I'm aware of, there's not really like any plot holes, because if there were any, they're resolved in like side notes that you can read. So like you get like the main story, and then there's daytime and nighttime audios. It sounds suspicious. A lot of the times the nighttime audios is just like you are cute together and make dinner. And that's like it. So but like the your interactions and like your relationship with the guys, and also like the lore of the world is expanded on in the audios. And then there's like I said, there's notes, there's in-game articles as well. So like there's like an actual news station, and there's like a social media that you interact with. that also like has articles that come out through it. Like there's a lot in Love in Deep Space, and I know a lot of people like it because like it is such like a rich world, and like they do the romance with the guys very well. They all have their own personalities. They all like react very differently to like different situations. Like there's someone for everyone in Love in Deep Space, in my opinion. I don't think there's really like a trope that hasn't been touched on because like they cover it all. And if there wasn't a trope that's been touched on, they just cover it in like an AU storyline. That's how we got Catch 22, where they're all feral little fiends and everyone went wild because they're like, wait, this isn't canon. It's like, yeah, it's an AU storyline. They let you know that this is an AU storyline. It's like it's an alternative universe. But like some people like it because there's a lot of customization as well, both with like the character and like the room, and you can customize like your desk with like the guys. So like each guy gets a desk, and then for their birthday, you can customize their birthday cake. And they actually made it more customizable because before it was just like you pick 3 designs for like the cake color, the cake decor, and like the type of candle. And then now it's like you can literally build the cake, which is crazy.
So,
And then
where does the
yeah.
deep space come into it?
Oh, it's all happening in space. Like
It's
you're
all
in space.
interesting. Are you like on a station, or is it like just planet
No,
traveling?
you're on like a planet. And so like Xavier is like he's like a reincarnated prince of like the planet that came before ours. So it's like everyone is tied into each other, which is very fun. And like Caleb, like his first myth is like he destroyed the galaxy that came before us.
As you do.
As one does. So and it's like we're all it's all linked together, and like it's all happening in space. There's a lot of sci-fi. There's a lot of sci-fi aspects.
See,
It's very fun.
I can appreciate the amount of information you had on it just because it does feel like it's really boiling it down to be like Gooner game. And it's sort of the Nikkei thing too, where it's like, no, like, are there aspects? Sure, but there's
Yeah, I'm not
also
gonna
this
sit
rich
here and tell
world.
you that like. Sorry, you finish.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say like, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say that like the game where he canonically hits it from behind and you see it happen unexplicitly though, because like the clothes are still on, isn't a Gooner game. Like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sit here and lie to your face like that. Like there's so much more to it. It's for like what 30 seconds maybe in a card animation.
I guess it also comes down to it's like you can choose for it to be exclusively a Gooner game, but that's your choice less than it is, or more than it is just what the game is, because you can also choose for that to not be the focal point of your playing.
Correct, which is like that's where like the fighting and like the battling comes in, and there's also like ranked fights as well. So it's like it's a whole thing.
Canonically hits it from behind is a statement. Yeah.
There's visual and audio evidence, okay? Like, listen, if you do yourself a favor, Omnisaya 421, go on the internet, go to Google, look up Caleb Love in Deep Space new myth card animation. Be blessed. It's also
So
like
on
just really good. They do a lot of stuff also for the people. Like anytime there's like a new design for a character, they make like a 3D chibi and are like, here you go make fun animations with it, and they just like give it away for free.
that's
So
super
like
fun.
yeah, like they want people to interact with it. They want people to engage with the content. They make it. There is like some. It's not the most free to play friendly, I will admit, but like you can play it free to play. Like it's not as free to play friendly as Nikkei, but it is more free to play friendly than like Honkai or like Genshin.
I got into Honkai for a while. Oh,
R.I.P.
I know it was rough.
R.I.P. But yeah, but like that's what I mean. Like it's they and like the mini games and stuff. Like they do actually listen to feedback, which is like the nice thing. Like
That's good.
you know, sometimes like games will be like, "Hey, we want your thoughts. We want your feedback," and then you give it as a community that's very vocal about, and like the community is very vocal about like any issues and stuff like that, or like stuff that they would like to be implemented in the game. It's like it's no secret, right, that people like wanted like this specific type of mini
Wanted
game
him to
for
hit
like the
it from
next
behind.
event. Oh yeah, well that's the thing too is like so Love in Deep Space was marketed as being like I think it was like 14 plus or something, and people were like, "Hey, you're starting to like put out spicier cards. You need to make it 18 plus." And I think it is now. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. Do not quote me on that. But like that did also come out because people were like, "Hey, you have all these amazing voice actors and this like amazing story," and like the people who work with Love and Deep Space also like work with like live like IRL museums to like explain the cultural significance of like whatever the event is about. So like there's like a paper lantern event, and they like worked with this one craftsman who makes everything like fully by hand for their paper lanterns, and they like are like one of the last of their kind of stuff.
That's
Like very
amazing.
oh yeah, they do like crazy like real life collabs with people and like organizations to like go into detail. I like if I forget what they did for Raphael's most recent event, but I think like if I remember correctly, they did like an ocean conservation one. And then like the time before that, they worked with like Jimmy Choo because they were like, "Hey, we're doing a wedding, like a wedding series," and like Jimmy Choo is like a designer company that's very well known for like putting out like wedding stuff, like dresses and shoes
Yeah.
and like jewelry. You know, they're big on the weddings basically. So they're like, it would be great to have like this collab with Jimmy Choo. So then they talked about like their collab with Jimmy Choo to like design the dress, like the dresses in like the games, and like there's like a shoe. The only reason I'm bringing up Jimmy Choo is because I'm salty about this shoe. I was saving money because I wanted it for my wedding. And the second I saw it drop that they collabed with Jimmy Choo and were using this specific shoe for like the wedding with Zayn, who's also my husband in the game, I was like, I'm cooked. Cause Zayn girlies are rich as fuck, bro. They drop anything for Zayn, it's gone. It's gone within the hour. And so like the second this is like an $8,000 shoe, by the way. Like this is not a cheap shoe. It's been
Yeah.
on the market for years. Like years. They dropped that this collab was with Zayn. They dropped the shoe. I went online to Jimmy Choo because I was like, please, no way. Literally, it was sold out.
Oh, that's
I
rough.
saw
That
the announcement.
sucks.
I saw the announcement an hour and a half after it dropped. It was sold out. It's still sold out, by the way. To this day.
That's rough.
It's like
True. How much for a shoe? It
it's
gets
$8,000.
wild.
It's a designer shoe. It's like I would say it's couture, but it's like a mass produced designer, like mass produced, quote unquote. Like,
Yeah.
but that's what I say. Like they work like very closely. There's a bunch of like they did this Highland series as well, where like like all the guys were like in the Highlands, and they like worked with like actual like Mongolian wrestlers and like horse riders and things like that. And they gave them like a little stance to talk about their culture.
See, I can respect because that shows an incredible amount of like love and care for what you're doing. Because
Right.
we've all seen gotcha games where it is a, hey, we want more money, so we're rolling out like the same dress on every girl, or like all of that.
Yeah.
We've all seen it. And so the fact that they've gone that far into it, I can at least respect the amount of care that that takes.
It's crazy.